These are the first 3 things that you need to do on the Jumpstart servers. Decide whether you want to play through this story, which I would highly recommend this if you are a brand new player to Lost Ark and don't have any friends that are playing the game currently to help you out along the way, because you are going to have a lot of questions because there's a lot to this game. And in which case, I would highly recommend that you do the Story Express event. That's going to give you a lot of good rewards while you're going through the story and set you up for a lot of good progression. Plus, if you do that, then you can always save that South Fern Power Pass for the second character that you want to make, and you're going to be right there exactly where your first character is. Or you could go for option number 2, and that is using the South Fern Power Pass and then going straight into the Jumpstart Makoko Express event. And that is going to put you straight at the end game, where you're not really going to learn anything along the way because you get expressed to the end game. Now, there are a lot of systems in Lost Ark that have to do with honing, leveling, all those types of things, and I actually made a video going over a lot of these things in detail. I'll go ahead and put the thumbnail right there. It's a pretty lengthy video that goes through a lot of these systems so that you can at least have an idea of what's going on with them. But regardless of how you choose to start playing this game, you're both going to eventually get to the end game, and that is where the rest of your journey lies. So the second thing that you need to start doing on the Jumpstart service is familiarizing yourself with the daily tasks and weekly tasks that are in this game. You can see all of the major weekly and daily content by going down to the little exclamation mark that you see at the bottom right and then scrolling up to the content list. And mine is a little bit cut off because I play in an ultra wide monitor, but for me, my shortcut is Alt Q. I can't remember if that is the default one or if it is different for the default, but you can just hit that and it will bring up this content list. Now you will see several different things on here, and if you have a little purple quest that is going through it that is not allowing you to access it, all you need to do is hit J and that will bring up your quest journal. Now at this point you can search for whatever that purple quest is and see how to complete it. But for the rest of these, it's as easy as just opening your quest journal and accepting the quest and then running over to where that quest is and completing it, and it's done. It's very, very simple, and then it will be unlocked so you can do all of these activities. Now you have 3 types of major daily systems that you will be doing pretty much daily or every other couple of days if you'd like. It's totally up to you, because there is a system in this game where if you don't do that particular activity on that day, you build a rest gauge. In turn, the next time that you do that activity, you actually can get double the rewards. So for example, on chaos dungeons, because you can do them twice per day, let's say for example I didn't do any today, well, the next day I'm going to have a full bar of rest, so to speak, and when I do that chaos dungeon tomorrow, I'm going to get twice the rewards, and it's going to use that part of this gauge, this little section here. So don't feel like you have to do them every single day if you don't necessarily want to. But chaos dungeons and guardian raids are something that you can do every single day. Aside from those 2 things, the other major daily that you'll need are your Una's tasks. And this is an opportunity for you to get extra materials of many different sorts. This is why you want to do them each day if you can, but even if you can't do them each day, they also have a rest bonus, and there are many different Una's tasks that you can do. But if you want to do the 3 that are most geared towards your vertical progression, then I would just advise you to copy these down and do those each day. Your weekly activities that you can do or your abyssal dungeons, your abyss raid, which is really just Argos, and then your legion raids. The legion raids are going to take up the bulk of your weekly activities because the game is progressing you very quickly through them. There are also a couple of other weekly activities that you should 100% be doing each week, like the challenge guardian raids, which I've already done, and the challenge abyssal dungeons. These are pretty short activities that you can do once a week that will give you honing mats and miscellaneous other things that are going to advance your roster or advance that character much quicker. So make sure and do not miss out on these weekly activities. They're very easy to do. Just as a side note, there are tons of other one-time events, just one of them being Thronespire, for example. It's a long line of enemies that you will have to defeat, and depending on which level you do, of course, you'll be getting better and better rewards the farther you go along until level 25. You don't really need to go to level 26. That's just for fun. You're not getting any rewards that are going to further your account or that character. There's also something called the tower. If you like a challenge, then you can definitely do these on the certain eye level that it recommends. For example, this first floor, it says eye level 500. The 6th floor, 590. If you want a little bit easier of a time, you can wait until you're a little bit higher eye level than what is recommended by this number, and you can go in then, and it's going to be a much easier time for you for all of these 3 different towers. And you get good rewards like skill point potions, cards, runes, all kinds of good stuff. Make sure you go through all of these towers. That way you get all those good rewards. And then there's the activities like the cube, where you go through a few different levels of fighting enemies or bosses. You get other miscellaneous materials that are going to help you boost your item level as well. If you want to see all the events that are happening that day, you can just click on this little clock. And at that point, you can just scroll down and you can see all of the things that are happening that day. You can just keep scrolling, see what time they're at, how much time you have left, what the expected rewards are, all that stuff that you need to know for the event and what kind of event it is, where it is, everything like that. And if you want to see where it is, by the way, you can just click on this little compass looking thing and it will show you exactly where it's at on the map. One massive benefit of the Jumpstart server is they are handing out cards like crazy. You may not know what cards are yet, but eventually you will get used to the system, and they are a big part of adding damage. Go down to your roster button right here, click on that and go up to card catalog. From there, what you need to do is scroll down to where you see deep dive and hit this little button so that it glows, and that will let you know it's a favorited card. If you're playing a support class, you also need to do this for the You Have a Plan set. The reason you want to favorite these cards is because eventually you will be equipping them here at your card deck. On the Jumpstart servers, they have super duper buffed the drop rates for the deep dive set and the You Have a Plan set. And you can kind of think of it like this is the DPS set and the You Have a Plan set is the support set. Because you favorited these cards, now every time you see them in card packs, or they pop up on your screen, or for example, the traveling merchants, which is a huge system in this game for cards. See the little traveling merchant symbol right here, and you can just hover over it, see what they're selling, and if they have any of the cards that you need. When we got it down here to Udia, that's a perfect example. You know that that merchant is selling that card for the next 1 hour and 46 minutes, it looks like. So you should go and buy that card. It's just with silver, you don't have to spend any gold. That way you can start collecting them, because to get the best benefits from using the card sets, you have to gather a lot of the same card. And while I don't want to get too in depth with the card system today, just trust me on this one and do what I just told you. And if you don't have a card set active already, I will go ahead and just activate this one, the Star of Destiny. You just have to equip all 5 of those. It's a nice little beginner card set, but eventually you will work out of that and go to Deep Dive, or You Have a Plan. Another great set to favorite if you're looking ahead is the Light of Salvation set. This is the end all be all set for the end game. It allows you to have the most amount of additional damage and is the hardest one to collect because all of them are legendary cards. So go ahead and favorite them as well. And the third thing that you need to do is just start playing the game. I will say real quick, before you start going into raids or even chaos dungeons, I would 100% look up a build guide on your particular build or on your particular class for the raids and for the chaos dungeons. There are tons of them out there. Maxroll has a lot of them. The community guides are really good as well. I'll post links to both of those in the description below. All in all, I know that there's a lot going on as soon as you get into the game. If you're a newer returning player to Lost Ark, I would say just give it 2 or 3 weeks. Play it, see if you have fun, see if you like the combat, if you like to go on the raids, if you like how the progression works, if you like the events, whatever it may be. Just give it a few weeks to get used to the game, because there's a lot of systems. Ask questions, ask in the area chat. There's a lot of helpful people there. I've been seeing all types of questions and people actually answering and being really helpful. But guys, that is everything for this video. I try to keep everything in it as simple as I could, but also give you a good direction to start playing this game. If you have any questions about anything that I said in this video, please ask them down below, or even if you have questions that aren't about some of the things in this video, you just have questions about the game, ask them. I would love to help you out. You can also join the community Discord. I have had plenty of people do that, and there are tons of questions in there, and I actually have an awesome Discord. I have a lot of people in there that are answering for me. I don't even have to answer, because I got a lot of cool people in there that are positive. They're willing to help if you ask questions. And one last thing, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like Lost Ark, or if you feel like you may like Lost Ark, it's going to be in your best interest to do so. But guys, I will see you on the next video.